Dadish is an excellent series of mobile video games that I feel like don't get nearly enough attention as some other mobile games, or I think it should. I think the Dadish series should get much more attention, and that's why I'm making this review of the entire series, from 1 all the way to the newest, actually 4. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe, as that would be very much appreciated, or just enjoy the video. Anyway, let's get started with Dadish. Follows a pretty simple story of a dad, that's a Dadish, falling asleep and a balloon passing by their patch and all the kids following it, causing Dadish to have to go find all of his kids before it's too late. It's a pretty simple plot, more of to serve to get the game, just up and running, and it's a pretty simple one that's pretty wholesome. Anyway, Dadish moveset is pretty damn simple. Dadish can jump, double jump, move, die, and that's about it. It's a pretty simple moveset that is used pretty well, as the game is a precision platformer. You also need to solve some puzzles in Dadish, as well as defeat some big baddies, aka Lord Durnak's minions, which Dadish doesn't even want to kill, but has to in order to progress through the game. The puzzles are also pretty rewarding to do, as each time you rescue one of Dadish's kids, they will say a funny quip. Now, these aren't going to have you laughing on the floor funny, but they gave me a good chuckle and usually made me smile every time I saw one. In all the games they're like this, and they are probably one of the best and most wholesome parts of the game. The only real problem I have with Dadish 1 is the fact that all the worlds don't really feel that unique. There's a castle, a grass world, a desert world, a mushroom world which is added from the Nintendo Switch port, and that's about it. I just kind of wish there was more variety. This game does also have first game in the series syndrome of having a lot of things that games would do better, such as better enemy placements, better puzzles, and more well thought out levels. But also this game just has more funnier dialogue. Another thing about Dadish is that if you collect all the stars in Dadish 1, you unlock the best mode in all of video games. Panic mode, where you play as Panic the Possum, which is the most hilarious mode in all of gaming. And then when you beat Lord Durnak, and then you get this. Also, the dialogue is replaced with all the bosses going, "Oh my gosh!" So Dadish is a pretty good starting point for this excellent series. A basic one, but a good one at that. Dadish 2 is so good, man. Oh, this is one of the best mobile platformers I've played. Not the best one, but one of the best. So the story of this one is Dadish's kid's lady's workplace, and that's probably a good thing because Dadish doesn't even know what he's doing there. On the serious note, Dadish 2 makes a sequel that is both a better version of 1 and a more expanded version of Dadish. So let's talk about the new stuff first. There's some new enemies like this chicken bucket guy, a chocolate bar, and mustard that shoots out, mustard. There are also some new mechanics returning from 1, like the balloons, and now there's water, which is now a hazard. And all the enemies from 1 are back as well. And you can now play as the best Dadish character, Burglar, because he lost his hat, and now Dadish is gonna be able to ride on his back. Oh yeah, also I forgot that there's an enemy, the ice cream that chases you. These Burglar levels are great, but there's only like 4 in the entire game, and then when he gets his hat back, he just runs off and goes off to commit more crimes. Honestly though, I really love these Burglar levels, and I wish there was more in the game, not just because he is peak character design, but also just generally because these are nice change of pace and are generally a little bit harder. And while yes, it's just a side scroller, playing with Burglar really does feel meaty, and Burglar is just funny. Also, another thing that Dadish 2 does twice, which is kind of weird, that is in Phantomo Temple and Solesia Station's final levels have this cool firewall thing, but only for these two levels in the game. I'm guessing these are meant to compensate for no burglar levels in Solesia Station. All the worlds especially hitting, especially Phantomo Temple and Kyoto Swamp. These two levels are all really good, apart from the meadows, which I don't really like. I just think they were kind of underused, and I think we could do without it. I mean, I do like the theming, but I don't know. Phantomo Temple was just the best with introducing these can enemies and introducing the pinball mechanic, which I really like. The bosses in this game are really cool and excellent in the way you need to defeat them, and they're just really creative. For example, this mustard boss where you gotta try and get the beehive to come down and then force it to try and shoot at the beehive and then have the bees attack it. That's a really cool concept for a boss that's used really well here, in my opinion. Or this chicken bucket guy that cosplays as burglar and like jumps about, and then you gotta click this button and then a whole bunch of panics attack him. That's really cool as well. I could go on honestly, but all the bosses in this game are generally really great. There's no one bad boss, and I honestly think they all do a brilliant job at finding creative ways to kill each one. I did want to give an honourable mention to this ice cream boss in the game. That basically, it has hearts, and you got to try and jump on the hearts as like balloons to get a key and then make it fall. That's really cool as well. I just wanted to give that one an honourable mention. I wanted to talk about the worlds again for a minute, as I wanted to talk about their level design, more specifically Kyoto Swamp's one. Kyoto Swamp just has some of the best theming, I would say, in the game, but also the best levels in the game. You have this like swamp thing that can drag you in, and its Blink Land and theming are all really great as well. I just really love the way this level's themed. Also, Phantomo Temple is themed really well as well, with it being all like cursed and stuff. One of Daddy's kids is cursed, but also having a whole bunch of other things, as the previous mentioned, like pinball mechanic and the can from the first game. It's really great stuff. Oh yeah, and I also forgot to mention this, but all the games have like a time attack mode, which is kind of cool. It does give you good replay value, but it's just kind of a weird random mode that I decided to mention. Now here's something that's quite weird. Before I wrote this script, I never played Foulest or any of the Foulest games, and now that I've played Foulest 1, Super Foulest and Super Foulest 2, they're great games, but Foulest's moveset just does not work with Dadish. By the way, this is the mode that you collect. If you collect all the stars, this is the mode you unlock, and I don't like it. The simple fun of panic mode will never be lost on me, and I just do not like this mode very much. It does not really work with Dadish a lot at all. I appreciate the effort, but I don't like it. Anyway, Dadish 2 is a perfect sequel in my opinion, with a little bit of issues, but not too many. Honestly, 10 out of 10. Let's move on to the next. Disclaimer before this part starts. At the time I wrote the script, it was December 18th and Dadish 4 was meant to come out, and it did come out, but I got it a day early because I pre-registered, so I actually started playing it up until the second world on the 17th. So I just kind of wanted to say that because at the time I wrote that script it was December 18th and stuff like that. Okay, I just wanted to put that in, don't know why, but I did. Dadish 3 is a definitive Dadish game in my mind, but how? Well, you've got new enemies, like this ice cream caterpillar thing that flies and is used really well in a lot of puzzles. This spread thing that jumps in 3 slices and can catch you off if you're not careful. These ice cream or cloud looking things that will drop missiles on you. And the last new enemy is this ice cream guy, I think he's called Ice Cream Swirl, where if you get too close to him he'll start shooting his head up. Cool idea for an enemy. And Dadish 3 still continues what I like to call the cool boss trend with this game. For example, this boss called Party Time, where you need to push an explosive into him and then he'll turn around and stuff. It's a simple idea, but it's really used well. And then there's also the first boss in the game, Pizza Slice, which throws hot dogs at you, and you got to try and click this button to push this box into him. Again, simple but effective. That's what I like the most about it. Boom. There was also Broad and my favourite world, Lobo Sewers, where you need to click this button to have the sewage rise up, and this sewage rise up mechanic is also from levels in Lobo Sewers as well, which is really damn cool. Again, similar to Dadish 1, I could go on, but I don't want to feel like I'm repeating myself with these, so yeah, the bosses are great. Also, Dadish feels great to control, and so do the puzzles and level design. They feel just as great as they've ever been, and I just really like it. Also, the camera's zoomed out, which I didn't mention in Dadish 1 and 2, but which didn't break the Dadish 1 and 2, but going back to those games after playing Dadish 3 to 100% them definitely makes it noticeable, but it doesn't like break 1 or 2 in any way. I mentioned when I was talking about the bosses that Lobo Sewers was my favourite world in Dadish 3, and it indeed. Oh my god, the mechanics here are just so good. You have the bubbles, which are used for some really great puzzles. You've got everything else, it just all feels really great. And you also have the introduction of the dolphin, which is his actual name, and is totally trustworthy. You've been hearing it in the background of this video, but the OST for Dadish 3 is actually so banging. Every single world from Poljerovo Desert to Gangle Jungle to Lobo Sewers to especially Havenport's theme are all really amazing, apart from the sea one, which I don't really like my Fondo Sea. But my god, this has the best boss theme in all of Dadish. I mean, come on, just listen to these jams. There's also Mameto, which is Dadish's wife. It says she left for like business or something, I don't know, but she's a part of the family. She replaces Burglar as the likable companion in this game, and she is pretty good. She basically bounces about and is a fun character. I do prefer Burglar, but you know, I like her, she's quite funny in some bits. And then we get to the final world, more Fondo Sea, with the bubbles from Lobo Sewer and new bubbles, not these ones, other ones. And then we have to encounter the final boss at some point, and it's the dolphin is in a tank and is the final boss. Who could have seen this coming? Literally everyone. But to put the jokes aside, this was actually a really funny reveal and quite good actually. And the final boss is no slouch either. You gotta like hit missiles into him, it's quite cool. Anyways, if you collect all the stars, you get panic mode again, let's go! But this time he's got shoes on, and when he double jumps, he spins in a circle. Now this is a completely original idea, legally distinct possum, totally no relation to a hedgehog. No, that's stupid, why would he be related to a hedgehog? Now this does completely break the point of a precision platformer, but I don't care, every game should have Panic the Possum in it now, it is official. Every single game should have Panic the Possum in it now. Also, I forgot to talk about this when I was talking about it, so I wanted to kind of talk about it. Madish. Madish is basically a big chasing thing that goes oi, 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 oi. He's quite funny, he's used in a couple of the levels, but not too many. I'm pretty sure he's used in every single world though, apart from the first one. But yeah, he's really funny, he's really great. Yeah. Anyways, Dadish 3 is one of the best mobile platforms I've ever played. It's not my favourite Dadish game, but that's the next game. Oh no, wait, I have 2 games to mention. Oh no. I was looking at the script for Dadish 3 and I realised I was really harsh on the first 2 worlds and its music, and after playing the first 2 worlds, for example, the first world is literally meant to be a world that doesn't have a lot going on, and every world does not have to be like the greatest themed thing. And the second world is just kind of alright, but like isn't that bad. I made it out to be like the worst thing in the entire universe. And I was also meaning on the World like music, when World 1 and World 2's themes are actually just more calming versions of each other. It's weird why I haven't done that. So I'm mostly going to be going off script for this bit, but yeah. Anyway, Dadish 3D is that Dadish's big leap into 3D, obviously, and it controls pretty well actually. Dadish 3 excellently translates the simple run and jump precision gameplay and platforming from the 2D games into 3D pretty goodly actually. Most things are the same here, like for example there's a panic deposit mode you can unlock by collecting the stars. Cool, I'm mentioning that a little early, but yeah, anyway, let's get on with it again. The keys and everything else are back, there's spikes, there's everything you need to make a really good Dadish game here. Bosses are in this game and they take advantage of being in 3D really well. For example, like the first boss stop Wifter, we have to click this button and they spike. And Sandra, which will jump, and you've got to try and trick Sandra into jumping into the water. Quite cool stuff here. And I forgot to talk about the music, but it's actually pretty good here. You might remember me saying that I didn't like the music in World 1. Not didn't like it, but I said I didn't like it. Well, I do like it, and in World 2 as well, but I especially like World 3, given by how many times I've used it in this video. Also, generally, World 3 has some of the best platforming I've seen in a 3D platformer before. Well, not the best, but like still really good platforming, especially for a 3D platformer. Peak Kitesurf's Peak Treatment and Peak Burglar is back from Dadish 2 and works exactly the same, but in 3D this time, which I really like. These levels are great, by the way. Also, he can tank. So a great soundtrack, great level design, great everything else. Dadish 3D is an excellent spin-off that I would highly recommend everybody tries at least once. Preferably not mobile though, sometimes the camera can be a little wonky, but apart from that, great game. Let's move on to, let's move on to the other one that I had in this wee pile of two. So Daily Dadish is definitely not going to be as long as Dadish 3 was, but I'll try and keep it short and sweet, so let's go. Dadish 3D is exactly what you see on the tin is what you get. Every day there's a new Dadish level, and over 365 levels were handcrafted, and that's quite impressive. Now, you can't play all the levels because you would need to play a new level every single day, which would be kind of a pain. But you can't play levels after you've completed them. And also, stars have been changed from the way they work. Instead of being hidden in a level, they're instead given to you upon beating the level in a certain time frame, which is a cool way of doing it, but I much prefer the hidden stars way of doing it, where they're hidden throughout a level. But there's one thing in Daily Dadish that I really like, the costumes. Each costume is a different playable character, which is quite cool, and oh my god, is that a burglar, best game ever. Now, after covering those two games together, Daily Dadish is definitely a good game, and Dadish 3D is definitely a fun adventure into a 3D platformer. But now it's time for the moment and the main event we've all been waiting for. We finally get to the best Dadish game in the entire series and the most recent entry, Dadish 4, aka the one that made me make this entire video in the first place. So let's just get straight into it. So the story of Dadish 4 is Dadish just chilling, then the Homeowners Association grabs him and DJ to save him. Oh yeah, and the whole reason why Dadish even got captured by the Homeowners Association in the first place, because he owed them $32.50. And roughly, that translated into pounds, is £24.29, which is like, bro. And even DJ goes, oh well, it's not that much money, we can pay it back, but the Homeowners Association apparently just like loves that, so perfect sum of money. And he's just like, I will kill you, it doesn't matter about the money or something. It does matter about the money, but it's like, they just don't care. And as I was playing through the game, I was constantly smiling throughout, whether it was the funny quips from the kids or just the writing in general just being really funny in my opinion. I just thought it was really cool stuff and really made me have a really awesome time with this game. There are also many new mechanics in this game, like these vines that you can swing from, these blocks that explode when pushed and can only break these blocks, these propellers that excel you up, or the most iconic new addition to the Dadish roster, the tunnel border, which is basically just Madish but 10 better. And also, just some good old fashioned lava, because you can't have a good platform without lava. There are also some new enemies, such as this cheese that runs away from you if you approach, this corn will drop away cobs that will sprout into popcorn, thought that one was really creative, and these orange lollipops, which are quite hard to dodge when they're in the air. The jokes in this one were actually quite funny as well, like the heavy orange abomination, which one of the kids thinks the HOA stands for, and then he actually appears in the next level, which is quite funny. Or the worker kid from Dadish 3 saying his workers' rights have been infringed and he wants to go on strike, which is a really funny one as well. Now it's time to talk about the bosses in the game, and oh boy, do we have some cool bosses here. For example, Bertha here, this cupcake in the 4 furrowed, that is similar to the final boss of Dadish 3, the dolphin. Or Axolot of Spice, where he jumps and you've got to try and click a button to drop explosive onto him. It's quite cool and quite funny. And also this cheese boss in the game that I can't remember the name of. That is the first boss in the game, and while it is simple, it's still pretty fun. But my boy Burglar has got an upgrade as he stole rocket boots from some guy's house and is now airbound. And oh my god, were these unironically my favourite parts of the game. Basically, these bits work like a more heftier Flappy Bird, which I absolutely adore and love. Each section feels difficult, but not too difficult in a way that feels unfair, but just difficult enough to be a good challenge and a fun change of pace between levels. I also think this game also shows Burglar's connection to the Dadish family in the best light in the entire series since Dadish 3D. And I know it's a silly thing to say about a Dadish game, but I think Burglar really is a member of the family now, just helping them, committing crimes, but more importantly, just being a good uncle to the family. Also, there are now achievements. Well, there kind of always were in Daily Dadish there was achievements, but yeah. Anyway, this game has more better achievements with like defeating each boss next gen achievement, meeting Burglar for the first time, or beating the final boss, or finally killing the tunnel boarder, and that achievement's called Board, by the way, which is genius. Yeah, the achievements are fun to get, but they're not too hard to get, I would say. Let's finally move on to the final boss, which this final fight is mental. The finale to this game is mental. So we meet up with Bone Curry, which is the guy who is the president of the HOA, but more importantly, that captured Dadish. After a very insightful conversation with DJ, he eventually just kind of doesn't agree because he is the bad guy, he is the man, he's the big sauce. But then he runs away, and then Uncle Birds comes out of nowhere and goes, "Let's go save your dad, hop on." And then a final boss starts. Now this isn't the most insane final boss in history, but this is the best Dadish final boss in history. So I originally thought that you had to hit these corn things, but you don't, you just dodge them. But I don't care, this boss is mental. It is hilarious to see the final boss of this game also have the freaking HOA like truck moving. It's hilarious. I'm gonna admit, it is absolutely hilarious. It is so unrealistic, but it is hilarious at the same time. And the fight is quite difficult because it is quite hard to determine where the corn's gonna land, and it actually is quite difficult. But eventually you overcome him and he burns in the lava. Wow, okay, yeah. You'd think me saying that would be gruesome, but it is kind of funny because he's like, oh no. But then after all those trials, we finally rescue Dadish and finish. And this seems so cute, man. Him just being happy. And apparently, the HOA broke every last one of Dad's bones. But luckily, he doesn't have bones. So, yeah. Lucky that he doesn't have bones. And Dad just gets grounded. And end game. Anyways, I don't really know what to say at the end here, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for sitting through my 27-minute video of me talking about multiple mobile games in a serious day. I really appreciate it. I've been working on this video since like December at this point, and I've been just like slowly working on it, and then some days I was just like fully powering through it. And I just want to say just thank you so much for listening to this long ramble of me talking about a game about a Dadish and trying to get his kids back. I don't know, man. I'm trying to think of like other things to say here and stuff. Really, I just wanted to say that I think this was a perfect way to start 2026 with a full Dadish retrospective. Now, as for the future on my channel, am I going to do more of these videos? Well, I really enjoyed doing this one, honestly. I know I say a lot of videos were the funnest to make, like that Murder Jones one was the funnest to make, but honestly, this video was the funnest thing to make, because I was just rambling and thinking of jokes and stuff. I had this whole script ready and stuff, and I've honestly just been super happy and stuff to work on this and stuff, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did working on it. Anyways, see you guys later. Have a lovely day.